Broadcasting live from the mixed up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Keysanity Entrance Shuffle Crossworld Tournament. Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Dr. Bountastic. Joining me today on commentary is Walther the Fourth, one of our illustrious tournament guys.
Yo, what's up?
And we are going to have ourselves quite a stream today. Today, we're going to be featuring these two runners. We've got Megawatt and Dracaris on the screen. We're going to have Pika Pals, but there was a little bit of an issue with the audio there, or with the feed there, so we just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that we're okay on that front. And it does look like we are now underway. So, a rather useless compass of Ganon's Tower in Link's house.
Yeah, it looks
and
like
we're going for the traditional fake flipper to Houlihan route, which,
yeah,
let's be fair,
a bit weird.
I didn't know it was traditional until yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's fairly standard to do in entrance for a lot of runners, it seems, but yeah, not very traditional in terms of normal route.
Checking out the Witch's Hut because, of course, that is a pain to go to. Just a shop today, so nothing huge.
Yeah, that would have been nice
bombs
to
eventually.
Yeah, it would have been very nice to find that shop after Houlihaning.
This is going to be Uncle's Tunnel. And we've got a piece of heart from the uncle, and what do we have up front? Just 5 rupees. Our runners will be picking up a little bit of magic, and then I imagine they'll be stepping outside and picking up quite a few more rupees. Right here in the Chris Houlihan room. 4 jumps in the water, and then you can grab the bush. 3 jumps, apparently, in this case. Depends on where you... Yeah, that initial fake flipper there, it's a little bit sketchy. I tried it myself earlier today, but eventually you can get to it. It's just kind of hard to do without a sword, I think.
Yeah. We're 2 minutes in,
picking up
we already have
huge chunk of chain,
fake flipper.
And so now Dracaris and Megawatt apparently both going for the North Shore check here, and that is Ice Rod and Skullwood's map. So Skullwood's map is pretty big, as well as the Ice Rod. Skullwood's map will let you know whether we have a crystal or a pen. That is a lamp on Lake Hylia's island.
Yeah, that could be pretty impactful. So it's nice to know where you have a fire source.
And we've got the blacksmith here in the shop at Lake Hylia. So we've got runners going for the Eastern Palace area. Currently foregoing the area, the Kakariko Village area, that has 1 million entrances in it.
Oh, and it's good that we did some rupee farming.
Game of Skill, I believe, is the archery game, so there's no way to get a bunch of money off of that, unless you've got all 7 crystals. And if you got all 7 crystals, what are you doing playing an archery game?
Well, obviously they're practicing their archer skills so they can kill Ganon.
All right, taking a death inside the Skull Woods area. Can't really go to the back. Skull Woods, of course, found in Sahasrah's closet.
Yeah, it was quite nice of them to find the front of Tetrarch there as well, because now they have full magic and guaranteed bomb as well. And since the only way of them doing any damage whatsoever is having that Ice Rod right now,
one thing that
full magic is
a
pretty
little
good.
bit reassuring for me, at least as a commentator, is that both of our runners are taking roughly the same route, which means I don't have to split my attention between two different screens.
Yeah, we'll see how long that keeps up.
And Swamp Palace we find at cave number 5 there.
Yeah, so we're already finding a fair amount of dungeons. Not that we can do anything in them yet.
Some money in Sanctuary. Let's see where Sanctuary leads us.
Ooh, okay, that's a little bit of a rough place to have Sanctuary.
We find Mire Shed. 2 chests here as well, once again. Definitely a place you want to find pretty early. That is a sword and a piece of heart. So, sword is a big deal. Now, an interesting location we happen to end up in for Sanctuary, that's the Lumberjack Hut. Which means that the back of Escape with those 3 chests might be locked behind beating Aghanim, or might be locked behind finding the Hyrule Castle small key. Either one, you're going to need to find something else before you can get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see our runners.
The possibility for a key steal is also real, though you could end up stranding something in Zelda Cell. That is the big key of Ganon's Tower, which is everybody's favorite item, everybody's favorite Ice Rod analog.
Yeah, so if you guessed what, number 7, you're correct, I guess. Speaking of useful keys, we're gonna need a couple of those pot keys that we just picked up there.
Get that small key, 2 pod. Plenty of pod keys to start with. That's how it. All right. Ooh, Fortune Teller's Hut is the upgrade fairy, which, yeah, I don't know anybody who doesn't see that and immediately say, yeah, I would like extra bombs, please.
Yeah, that's another good reason to do early Houlihan. You can buy those bomb upgrades and still have enough money for the bottle blender.
Alright, so we get the, we had the Brothers Connector in the right side of Sahasrah's home. And Tower of Hera in the left. Meanwhile, Megawatt follows the connector and heads up to Death Mountain. Ooh, the hammer found in the back of Hera's lobby.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge pickup. Having early hammer is super nice in this mode. And Megawatt going for
and we do
a little
find
bit of
the
Super Bunny action there.
Hookshot Cave main entrance in Blind's Hut. Meanwhile, Megawatt has located Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, he's taking a death inside of the dungeon since
And
he was
just a big 20 from our bottle vendor today.
Ooh, now that's a nice pickup. It's not on logic yet, but who cares? We have a hookshot now.
And try that again.
Yo, welcome back.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Has anyone been hearing me?
I heard you.
All right, hookshot located for Megawatt, it looks like.
Yeah, I got it in the first chest in pod, which is not technically in logic yet, but that's some getting a little bit rewarded for taking that early connector.
Yeah, I was gonna say really, but yeah, the taking the fairy connector as a bunny is not in logic. At least not that direction.
Yeah, as well as death warping in dungeons for.
Right. Now I believe we just found the big key for pod over on Dracaris' screen.
Yeah, looks like it. That hammer ping off right away.
And Megawatt's going to grab that hammer just shortly as well. We also noticed there was a hint for the Eastern Palace. Big Key says it was underground, which, if I'm not mistaken, refers to either the digging game or the digging spot, and we don't know exactly what.
Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we're finding our moon pearl now, so that does put that hookshot in logic and have an early hookshot, early sword, early hammer, early moon pearl. Let's see this starting off pretty nice so far. And speaking of early hookshot, let's just use that in Shake Hookshot Cave right away for another sword. Sweet.
Sick. And a Ganon's Tower small key, as well as some bombs. And a map. Megawatt is going to go ahead and take this connector as well. So what we can see here is sort of a contrast between the two major strategies here. Dracaris going for sort of a breadth first approach, looking at all the entrances around before going through multiple connectors, whereas Megawatt is going for a depth first approach, sort of following connectors to their inevitable conclusion before continuing backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say in general, I would probably like Dracaris approach. There's some boots, really. Okay, cool. But Dracaris approach a little bit more, just because there's so many connectors, especially early game, that can kind of lock you out, and you have to save and quit and go all the way back to Kakariko over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I figure Mirror is coming.
Would kind of be appropriate right now.
Right, the race game has the Curiosity Shop. Okay, so one of the entrances for Desert looks like it's in the Ice Palace entrance, and there's a fire rod on the race game.
Yeah, both of our fire sources just hiding in plain sight.
Well, I mean, if you can't see fire sources like that, there's really not much point to them. How else are you going to have light?
That's a fair point. So Dracaris did save and quit there from Kakariko without going through any of the connectors and finding another Turtle Rock entrance instead. We can
Where did he go into that?
It was the Bonk Rocks at Link's house.
Ah.
So we can get 2 items here right now. Having a sword makes taking care of the Pokey a lot more nice than having to use Fire Rod or Hammer or Ice Rod.
Yeah. Though having just the fighter's sword does mean it's going to take a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
Today I learned that the bombs blow up those skulls in one shot.
Yeah, I had no idea actually. Oh, frontly Dracarys takes a hit there. Yeah, we are still in green mail. So almost everything here in Turtle Rock deals 4 hearts at this point.
Yeah. So for those of you just joining us and who don't know about this, the idea with Crossworld is that as opposed to say full entrance shuffle or something along those lines, Crossworld makes it where locations that have more than one entrance can have one entrance in the light world and one entrance in the dark world, or something like that, so that you can enter in the light world and come out in the dark world. And so that gives you multiple additional ways to get between the light and dark worlds. It's pretty cool. Megawatt now heading through the business entrance of Spectacle Rock Cave here.
Some tense pokey action from Dracarys. Okay, there
and
we go.
Down he goes.
Even if we take a death here, we still have the key.
Yeah, that's all that we really care about. Now, this particular chest, in the logic of the game, is locked behind 4 Turtle Rock keys. So, yeah, Desert Palace Small Key looks like is locked behind those Turtle Rock keys. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a nice one to get early. You don't have to make the decision if you're gonna steal the key lizard or not.
Using Ice Rod strats to light these, or to activate these switches. And picking up 300 rupees and taking an immediate death, like you do, just to get out of here. Oh yes, definitely. Getting lost is a common occurrence in this.
Yeah,
which is why people try to track their entrances and write things down, etc.
Yeah, probably one of the most important parts of this mode is take notes, or at least track where everything is.
Right, we find Magic Bat in the Uncle's Tunnel.
Yeah, we did get a hint about that earlier. It was just a blue rupee, so I don't expect any of our runners to come back to that one.
And Megawatt will now be making his trip into the middle of Turtle Rock. This, of course, will be a little easier for him on account of having the Master Sword. And is this even randomized?
Just a little bit.
A little bit. We get the flute, but it turns out that our dam is just there.
Yeah, I wonder how many entrances there is in total. I've never did an effort to count it. It's not very likely you'll see too many vanilla entrances.
I would imagine that the probability, assuming that all the entrances are equally likely, which they aren't because of different requirements on the logic, but if they were all equally likely, the probability of there being no vanilla entrances would be 1 over 2.8. It's the derangement theorem. I'm a huge nerd. Did you know that?
Well, I'm finding it out more and more every day.
It's technically 1 over E. Let's see. That was the exit of Spectacle Rock Cave at the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, so we'll see where Dracarys is heading towards Kakariko, so he might be going for some of those connectors that he skipped earlier. And definitely gonna activate the flute at least.
Oh. I just missed it. I'll have to pick it up on the... I'll have to pick this up on the... when Megawatt does it.
Yeah, speaking of Megawatt, looks like he is actually heading towards that flute right now, or well,
Yep.
soon enough.
Alright, so Dracarys is now going to make use of that... well, he still hasn't gotten the hook shot, actually, so he hasn't been to Pod. But he did pick up that Master Sword, which is great, and we know that there's nothing really that important in the rest of Hookshot Cave.
It's kind of funny. He managed to pick up the only really nice item from Hookshot Cave. He finds heading just straight up for Death Mountain. He finds the laser bridge right away. Good thing we have the boots. We can go for these boot skips.
Yeah, one thing I've practiced is trying to get bootless laser skip because of the likelihood that you run into laser bridge so early. I'm not saying I'm any good at it, but I have practiced it.
I'm kind of the other way around. I'm bad at the boot skip, better at the walk skips.
Right, King's Tomb found by Megawatt over at the Ice Rod Cave area, getting a big heart there. And we note that he went ahead and hasn't gone to the dam yet, so he still doesn't have his flute.
Yeah, and we did see Dracarys got a little bit Deadrock there. The Deadrock was just blocking the entrance for where the uncle or the old man lives, but Dracarys just skipped that right away because he knew he's gonna pick up the old man somewhere around here, which he's doing right now, so he can just check that entrance then instead.
Right. Now you do definitely want to actually check that entrance. It's not necessarily going to be the old man's home. I'm not bringing up any, I'm not salty at all.
Could be like Great Cave or whatever.
When has that ever happened?
It happened in one of my qualifiers, actually. Yeah, hopefully Megawatt decides to go pass by that the dam later on, so he can pick up that flute.
Right, there is the brewery, which has the map of Tower of Hera. That'll give us a little bit of information about that particular dungeon. And we note that it is a crystal as well as Desert Palace. It's actually a 5/6 crystal for Tower of Hera, it looked like.
Yeah. Ooh, Mimic Cave. Dracarys leaves, but now he's gonna realize, wait, I actually have the hammer already. So
Yeah,
that's always
I
nice.
cannot tell you how many times I've just been like, oh, Mimic Cave, can't do it. That's why I
Yeah, I'll
have a
say.
spot specifically on my note sheet for Mimic Cave, because
Mm-hmm.
I always encounter it without the hammer. Get
Yeah.
Bombo's medallion in there, very interesting. Just a big 20 from Zora. One of those 4 T-Rock keys.
Yeah, since we know where laser bridge is, we're probably only gonna need one small key to beat it. 2 would make things a little bit more simple, I guess. Or
And so Megawatt jumps out of the water onto the bumper ledge. Fine, and there's the big key of Turtle Rock in what we call Cave 45.
that's
That's at
interesting.
the Spectacle Rock Cave exit. Looks
Yeah,
like.
we just need the mirror to go grab that fire rod, or potentially a connector to lead to it, and we can already beat Turtle Rock, which is pretty crazy. Oh no, we need the King Samari as well. Never mind me.
And the fire rod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said fire rod. I'm dumb.
Make
There's the flippers.
yeah, fake flippering over to the dark world and then getting the flippers. Nice.
Feels good, man.
Ooh, so our second crystal 5-6 crystal is Tartar Rock. I need
Hmm.
the bomb shop guy up there on Dark Death Mountain.
And just to be fair, both Turtle Rock and Tower of Hera are the only dungeons that Dracarys has located at the moment. So he's probably sitting there thinking, really? Is this going to be a seed where we actually have to use the big bomb?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's ever happened
even
before.
has the flute, which would be required to get the big bomb, and the seeing where the shop is located.
Right, so we found Desert Palace, or at least one of the entrances. 50 rupees on the torch, and the lift spot southeast of Dark Lake Hylia. That's the Dark World Shopping Mall for those of you who are old school entrance people. That is just a fairy fountain, so that makes it a little more likely that you'll go check that area without a glove. Because that way you don't have to have one.
So it's interesting. We have hookshot, we have flippers, we have hammer. We know where Swamp Palace is. We already drained the dam, so we're just missing a small key, and we can full clear. Well, except for the big chest, the entire swamp already.
All right. As I expected, there's really nothing earth-shattering on the right-hand side of Desert, just because that Desert small key was theoretically locked behind many, many Turtle Rock keys. But you never know. I mean, theoretically, the boss, or like the completing the dungeon, is locked behind the Desert small key as well. So,
Oh, apparently Megawatt picked up the small key to Swamp Palace in Feast Town. So that's pretty
huh.
huge. He doesn't know where the dam is yet, though, and he's probably not gonna expect it to be vanilla. So it could be a while before he goes and visit
Who
that place.
knows?
Yeah.
Hello, we found Paradox Cave. Unfortunately, no mirror to get through that block. Megawatt finds the big chest of Turtle Rock in the chess game location, but he is not the one of our runners who has located the big key of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but you're always gonna. Well, there's another back into Paradox. Well, yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but you're always gonna come across moments like that one way or another.
Alright, Blue Mail.
Well, it's not bad.
piece of heart, 3 bombs, a bottle with a green potion. That is our first bottle. And by the way, we just found Sick Kid over on Dracaris' screen, so there's that. And a small key to Skull Woods. Also, there's Eastern Palace, which, interestingly enough, Dracaris is going to skip out on for the moment. I imagine he's just checking some entrances because he intends to save and quit out of Eastern.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. And our runners are pretty much syncing up for a short moment here. Getting a little bit of a high five action going on here.
Megawatt's actually going to get the item from the Sick Kid, just 300 rupees.
Let's see what Megawatt decides to do. He's gonna head straight into Eastern. See what they find. Megawatt also has the hookshot, so could hookshot over to the rest of Death Mountain after this and get a couple of those nice items that Dracar's got.
Alright, 10 arrows in the map chest. So, not a hugely lucrative Eastern yet. Dracaris gonna get that Sick Kid taken care of. Megawatt with a little bit of a mishap in the Stalfos room there in Eastern. But recovers nicely, gets a 3-pack of bombs and a hint. What's this hint gonna be? The blue cane can be found in Ganon's tower. Could be useful information.
Yeah, it's not the best hint ever, but it could be worse. At least it wasn't a sweet corn pizza hint. Yeah, speaking of Ganon's tower, there's a fair amount we could do if we manage to find it, because we have the hammer and the hookshot combo from Megawatt, and if Dracaris finds it, he could always just sequence break that hookshot.
Yep, and of course the Ganon's tower big key has already been found, so that also gives us that big chest. Well,
ooh,
speaking of a big key, it's the Swamp Palace.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I really want to see that swamp play now. Megawatt just needs to find the dam.
It's like, would somebody get this man a map to the dam, please?
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little bit afraid of is, like, he has a lot of stuff he can do right now, and he might be just like, oh, I'll wait to go to the dam until I actually find it and I can get the item too. So hopefully he doesn't put that off for too long.
Megawatt now heading to the west side of Death Mountain, which I'm not entirely certain he's been to yet.
Yeah, not yet. That was Dracaris who did that. So he's gonna get the big key for Pod and... well, no, not Pod, but Tartarok, and he's gonna get Bombos at least.
Do not adjust your screens, you literally can't see anything right now for a reason.
Dracaris is taking a Death Warp too. I think there's still one entrance in Paradox that he didn't check, which is probably why he's taking the Death Warp.
Right. I mean, he's going to find that they're both in a relatively similar location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Megawatt finds Laser Bridge.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe I didn't check any of them.
Oh, that's got to feel strange. It's like, wait.
Yeah. That's fun how things work sometimes.
All right, we're going to get to see this bomb jump here.
Yeah, this one is a little bit tricky. You can't really just do for the normal spin setup that most people does. I think it was standing a little bit too much to the side. Because you want to stand a little bit out from the side so you can just clip in the railing as you bomb it.
To my knowledge, what you want to do, you want to get yourself up against the left wall and then move like 1 or 2 pixels to the right. Either one of those will work. And then you start backing up. And you just have to know where the spot to stop is. Because you can't use the spin setup to push it into place.
Yep, pretty much. Ooh, Power Glove. Okay.
Alright, so we found Super Bunny Cave. That was our lift upgrade. Oh, it's in the Hammerlocked house.
Small key to Tartrock in the Swamp Palace.
I mean, at this point, I'm imagining that's not the only thing that can be found in Swamp Palace.
No, I see 10 Turtle Rock keys in there.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of Turtle Rock keys.
Yeah, we're playing retro mode now.
Oh, okay. And speaking of Turtle Rock keys, Megawatt picking up the big key there.
Unfortunate, but a little bit comical wall master grab there from Dracarys.
Alright, so we're taking care of Skull Wood's big key chest. The Turtle Rock compass turns out to not be that big a deal.
And Megawatt is back.
Oh, he's about to find that lift.
He's gonna get those power gloves. So that's nice. He's not gonna isolate that item location at least.
Now it's everyone's favorite game of find the right hole.
Yeah, looks like Dracarys did. So you might be confused why he's doing this, but he wants to save a small key, which I guess he already had a small key to Skullwood, so he doesn't really need to do that. But yeah, like sometimes you want to make sure to not use the small key that you steal, just in order to have a small key when you finally get to the back of Skullwoods.
There's that big key of Eastern Palace we were talking about with the underground hint.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Rustididor made an interesting point in chat there, saying that Megawatt, when he returned to Village of Outcast, he kind of forgot to go check that Turtrock big chest. Since he does have the hookshot, that would be fully logic for him.
Yeah, so that could be a little bit of an oversight there. He could also get the Crystal Roller Room chest as well.
Yeah.
And we find Misery Mire at Hype Cave. That's going to be a location that Megawatt can check some items in. Specifically, in this case, I think 4.
Yeah. He will know for sure that no matter what happens here, he's not going to be able to check their fire-locked side at the very least. And very much likely not going to be able to clear out the dungeon as well, unless he managed to find both the big key and the cane in here.
Megawatt, you don't have a small key. This isn't going to work. Yeah, I mean, if he finds a fire source in here, then he can do that.
Yeah, the only problem is we know where both fire sources are.
Oh, yeah. I'm a dumb. They're literally sitting out in the middle of...
Yeah.
Maybe he'll find the mirror.
Use it. That would be nice, yeah. That would be a pretty bad place to have the mirror, honestly. Yeah, it's too bad you can't use bombos to light torches.
I mean, what? This isn't enough fire for you? Found Spike Cave at our Curiosity Shop location.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't do that right now.
Well, I mean, in theory, if you had if you bought a potion or something from the witch, you might be able to get there.
Yeah, you could technically do it, but well, there's a potion shop.
It's like, how bad do you want that Spike Cave item?
Not bad enough.
I believe that is the correct answer. Megawatt was trying to death warp and got a piece of heart. Speaking of stuff, speaking of lots of stuff, we've got Ganon's Tower. Hello.
Yeah, imagine we're gonna... Hey!
Same card.
Nice refill, especially if you're gonna do bomb jumps and stuff to sequence break this tower.
Kara's gonna have to pull off some pretty technical bomb jumps here.
With the boots, at least, he's not gonna have to do too many bomb jumps. It's only really 2 bomb jumps he has to do. So it really simplifies sequence breaking this.
Oh yeah, and both of these can be set up with the spin setup. When you don't have the boots, having to make that first jump there can be a little technical. It's more akin to the Ice Palace jump. Or actually, it's closer to the Hammer Jump is what it is. Anyways, that is a small key to Thieves' Town and a Tempered Sword in the Stolfos room. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Totally miss what Megawatt found in the library though. So preoccupied with what's happening in Ganon's Tower.
Alright, so Megawatt finds the other end of Super Bunny Cave. No real need to head that direction at the moment. Does look like we might get a shopping mall check. From Megawatt over here.
Yeah, we might get a Ice Armos Bowless fight coming up soon as well, unless Dracarys get bailed out with a bow in one of these upcoming chests.
Incoming what is it? Blue boomerang fight? No, I'm kidding.
We know the blue king is here somewhere, so that would be a pretty nice weapon to get before the fight.
Hey, there's silver arrows over in Agina's cave, which I'm assuming was somewhere in the Dark Shopping Mall.
Oh, and there's
There it is.
Okay. That's gonna take care of most of the Armos fight. He just wants them to start jumping around, and then you can activate the blue king and kind of group them up together and just deal surprisingly and very much damage to them.
Yeah, it's less about the amount of damage per hit and just the sheer number of hits you can get in over time.
Yeah.
On so many of them at the same time. You just kind of bunch them up at the top. Grabbing the big chest that contains a small key to Ice Palace. So Shopping Mall is an old meme from the last entrance tournament. It's just like anytime anybody went over there, it was just a bunch of shops. That is significantly less likely in cross keys. Especially since the type of entrances no longer matters. That used to be a thing. It used to be that single entrance caves and double entrance caves were on different maps, and the entrances couldn't be mixed and matched.
Can you see that Dracarys has done this before? Doesn't quite have enough magic for all of them, but good enough.
Just a bunch of junk there in the vanilla big key room.
Yep, and Megawatt is now gonna be following in Dracarys' footsteps and just be clearing out the entire left side of Ganon's tower. Not really getting too much from it, but at least they get that sword, which is kind of nice. You get the blue king, so you can finally do Spike Cave now.
Though apparently Megawatt has found far more small keys to Ganon's tower than Dracarys has. Those of you keeping score at home, Ganon's tower was at the Dark Witch location.
Yeah, good news for Dracarys though is that you don't need too many small keys for Ganon's tower. You only need a total of 2 in order to full clear the entire tower if you use them correctly.
And Dracarys found yet another pod key from our friendly neighborhood cat.
Great power comes great keys, I guess.
I wouldn't exactly call it a great key.
Good enough key.
All right. So, more Ice Rod Cave area checks for Dracarys. We saw this over on Megawatt's screen earlier. He finds Bumper Cave, but can't go through Bumper Cave, whereas Megawatt was able to go through there. So if you go through Bumper Cave from the back, you can just use the hook shot.
That's one of those little tricks that can kind of trip up new runners sometimes, because why would you ever think to do that? You would never have a reason to do it unless you're playing entrance. So Megawatt is going for the Cane of Burna fight here as well. Actually managed to capture all of them here for a moment.
once again ending with about the same amount of damage left on the remaining Armos. Dracaris has got to be thinking to himself, I have all these pod keys. Where the heck is pod?
And he has been saving his potion as well, so if he managed to find it soon, he will be able to sequence break the bow checks as well, and even save a key for a moment.
Alright, so this connector will take him to the top of Bumper Caves. We know this. I don't know if he's checked the cave below here or not.
Yeah, I don't think we ever did see that one. He is waiting. We're checking that though, because he has Sora on his mind. It feels like we should have seen that, but I can't really remember if we did it or not.
Alright, another pod key for Megawatt. I imagine Megawatt might want to put those pod keys to use pretty soon. And fluting away to 5. This is the Swamp Palace play.
Without the hookshot though, which kind of hurts, honestly.
Yeah, quite unfortunate.
Ooh, and there's a bow in the pyramid. Okay, now the pod is looking really spicy.
Yeah, I was like, was that the bow? Yes, it sure was. It looks like half magic has been located in Swamp Palace for Dracaris. So, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, this is
significantly less significant than the bow. And I just did use the word significant in 2 different contexts. What's wrong with me?
So we can full clear Eastern. We could clear out Pod, the majority of it. Everything except for one chest, really. And we can clear out everything in Swamp. On Megawatt side. Just, it's a lot of locations and 3 dungeons in total.
Let's be entirely fair. There's going to be a pod key in Pod.
Probably,
that just always happens.
It tends to happen a lot.
Oh, there's our Titan's Mitts for Dracaris, so that grants us access to the Misery Mire area.
Yeah. And there's the promised Tartarok small key. So yeah, the
for
biggest.
For all we know, the hookshot might not even be required.
That's true. Yeah. This could be a pendant. We might not have to climb GT. So the biggest, well, there's a couple of things that is difference between runners in terms of their routing so far, but Some of the bigger ones is Megawatt managed to get that bow and also has the hookshot from Pod, together with the knowledge of where Pod is. And Recurse did get the flute early at least, so he's gonna have some nice movement in terms of routing. And now having the Titan Smiths, will be able to check some. A lot of entrances that Megawatt is not really able to check at the moment. There's our last sword, okay.
As we say, there is always a sword in swamp, and there it is on the left side.
Yep, if you didn't find a sword in swamp, you didn't look hard enough.
There is the observation deck of Spectacle Rock Cave. And so, yeah, nothing life-changing on left side swamp. I mean, I'm not going to say no to a butter sword, but still. Now, it looks like Megawatt is going to be clearing out Eastern Palace. Having acquired the big key at the digging game, seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Is going to have to do some dark rooms in the back, but should be capable of pulling that off. Meanwhile, Dracarys is going to show us some new information over here in Mire area.
Ooh, Bombo's to open up Mire entrance, which is the only medallion we have at the moment. So that's interesting.
Chess game has the map of swamp.
Well, no, you can find out if it's required to get that hookshot or not.
It is.
It is a crystal, yeah.
And
what's this other Pod was a pendant apparently.
Yep.
And
I also think Skull Woods was a crystal.
Yeah, and I think Ice Pass might have been a crystal too.
Alright, so Megawatt is attempting to line up the arrow shot to shoot this Igor and acquire the key. Finds Sahasrara at Misery Mire, which has the map to Hyrule Castle, a piece of heart, and bombs. It's a whole lot of garbo. But what is the Green Pendant Thieves Town, turns out?
Okay, we're getting a lot of knowledge right now. Only thing remaining is to find out if Eastern or Mire is our last crystal, and we're gonna find that out pretty soon.
Alright, a much easier Armos fight this time. 10 arrows and a crystal.
Nice.
So no bolas this time.
Yeah, it's our first crystal grab of the race here for both restreamed runners.
And so we now know that Misery Mire is our remaining pendant.
Oh, is this it? Megawatt is heading down towards the... Looks like we're gonna grab that flute, and we'll see his reaction when he walks in here.
Just a little bit of a...
yeah.
A little bit of a pause there, like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if we don't see Megawatt just go activate the flute after this and then head almost straight for Swamp. Swamp is even located right next to a flute spot as well.
Yeah, that was a really early possible flute.
Yeah. I got a little bit scared of her a moment. Megawatt just skipping 2 entrances, but they realized before heading towards desert.
That's the other end of Bumper Cave, so we know where that goes. Meanwhile, Dracarys is gonna open the portal on top of Turtle Rock. We'll see if we can actually get in. What do you think? It's Ether today, so we don't know where that is.
No.
And
Ooh,
we've got
Agate
Agate
Tower.
Tower.
We do have 1 small key, so we can get both chests in here. Speaking of Agate Tower, the back escape is located in the Lumberjack, and we have not seen any entrances to Hyrule Castle, if I remember correctly yet. And,
Yeah, that's
Dracarys,
a little weird. We
yeah.
are finally finding Pod for Dracarys.
Yeah, once again, unfortunately, he does not have a key item for this dungeon. Well, he has a lot of keys, but not the item itself. But it is a pendant, so you might not have to beat the dungeon itself.
Gets the hook shot. He could potion glitch to the right-hand side if he so desires.
Looks like he does. Might have been checking how many potions he had there, because he's kind of gonna have to do 2 loops here, most likely.
Alright, so Megawatt is about to go activate the flute, I imagine. And so I'm getting in my ready stance here. Oh, he looks like he's getting a delay for a second.
Yep. Oh yeah, right, this entrance. Good call. Oh, we're gonna get a hint. The helpful hand tells us that a glove is in Swamp Palace. Well, if that didn't make him want to go to Swamp earlier, I guess that should help.
That is the official, hey, go to Swamp.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially since you just found the flute as well.
And so it looks like the right side area in Pod is basically devoid of value, just 2 pieces of heart.
Yeah, and I think that's our last drop down that we can check at the moment. So I think Ganon should be Vanilla in this scene. Unless I missed him earlier, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe so. So Vanilla Ganon, meaning that Agate 2 is going to be required.
Yeah, good thing we'll have the big key.
When you're playing Cross Keys, there are so many things that you will have to keep fresh in your mind. I will tell you right now, if you don't write stuff down, then you're going to be found left way behind.
Well played, good sir.
All right. Time for Megawatt to go into Swamp Palace. Gonna get that glove, and we'll be able to actually finish out the entire dungeon in one go.
Yeah, gonna grab his second crystal. He's really has some nice routing right now at the moment. We have a small key for Turtle Rock in the big chest of Pod. I think we have found most of those small keys to Turtle Rock already now.
Yep. That small key to Turtle Rock, of course, definitely logically required this seed. Oh, we find something in the dark that didn't show up. It was the Ether Medallion.
Shield. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got Ether now, so... And the big key of Thieves Town.
Okay.
Well, that is another pendant dungeon, but who knows? We might find some things back there.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Did we find the small key earlier? I think we did.
We did find the small key, yeah. So the only thing we know can't be in the back of Thieves Town really would be the mirror, because the mirror is blocking the lamp at the moment. But except for that, pretty much anything we're looking for could potentially be there. It's interesting the mirror is probably locking both fire sources.
Yeah, unless there's some weird connector we haven't thought of yet, but no, I think we've actually seen most, if not all, of the connectors. So I don't think there's another way to get to the back of the race game. So yeah, the mirror is kind of our linchpin here.
Mm-hmm. And interesting enough, we're gonna see the back of Swamp Palace from Dracarys before we see it from Megawatt, because after getting that hook shot, he's beelining straight back here. He even knows it's a crystal and everything. And he already did all the time-consuming thing in Swamp, so this back part is gonna be pretty fast.
Now Megawatt, having the hook shot already, gets a little bit of an advantage here, being able to complete the entire dungeon in one go. Also, this left side play is a little quicker with the hook shot because you can do both sides at once. So we got a piece of heart and a big 20. Meanwhile, Megawatt picking up the butter sword. Another piece of heart. We're just picking up them pieces all over the place. Now, one great thing is that our runners do have access to the gold sword for Argus, and gold sword Argus is always a fun time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can pretty much do the one cycle Argus a lot easier if you have the gold sword compared to temper. Since you don't have to do the poke dashes, it's enough to just do a normal poke to kill each buff.
And that's what Dracarys was doing there. Now, of course, the one cycle Argus is still RNG dependent, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, it's definitely not free in any sense.
Ice Rod strats here for Dracarys. And gets a small key to pod. So there we go.
It means that Megawatt is gonna have 4 small keys to pod after this. And I don't think he does know that it's a pendant yet, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Megawatt just going for that after this. Now, 4 small keys is a pretty important number of keys to have in pod. If you have the hammer and the bow heading into pod, you can full clear the entire dungeon with only 4 small keys. Will mean you're gonna have to take a couple of loops around the bow side, but that is enough to save that 1 small key for the middle door.
There's that Eastern Palace map for Dracarys.
Oh, there was actually apparently a vanilla small key in pod, as you predicted as well.
Ah,
I kind of knew that.
I was unaware of that, but sounds good to me.
Yeah, that would make things pretty convenient. Because you're gonna have to go through the bow side once, no matter how you cut it. And then after getting that small key, you can just open the middle door after that.
Alright, Dracarys also picking up Aga Tower. Gonna get these 2 items in here.
And there's the old man. I don't think any one of our runners saved and quit to the old man yet. That's a pretty convenient place to have it.
Yeah, that's actually a reasonable starting point, considering, if you want
It's
a
not
real
the
quick way to
best.
get to the Dark World.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's always nice to have, like, at least one of them in the Dark World.
All right, so we're still missing things like Hyrule Castle. I'm not convinced we've seen Hype Cave or Blind's Hut yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any of those two yet.
I know we saw Mini Moldorm Cave.
Mm-hmm. You know, it would be a fun time.
What's that?
The only thing the myth's pretty much blocking would be like a mirror on purple chest. That would be super fun, especially for our runners.
I mean, could just be King's Tomb.
Yeah, that would be better, for sure.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if Dracarys is actually heading to King's Tomb right now.
Who is... Okay, good. I think Megawood was about to climb Cannon's tower and then realized, wait, I don't have a fire source. I should probably not do this.
Yeah, no fire source does make it a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, that would have been a sad realization. Yeah.
Alright, looks like both of our runners are beelining it for King's Tomb.
And nothing beats the treasure of kings, right?
It's a cold, chilly treasure.
Yeah, the Ice King has...
It's the 6th pod key.
Pod key. Well, that should really put Megawatt into going to pod ring.
So I wonder if Dracarys goes to Turtle Rock here. Like the Turtle Rock entrance. Because he's got Ether now. Looks like he's going to the island here. Ice Palace entrance we know goes to Desert. So maybe he's using this as a connector to something. To the Turtle Rock entrance.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was trying to look at some notes about entrances because I knew there was at least some connector up to Death Mountain. Yeah, that's a good one to take.
All right, Turtle Rock entrance. Let's open this thing, see what we find. I'm calling Hype Cave.
Well, I'll say Blind's Hut then, just to say something different.
Nope. Aww, whole lot of nope.
Too bad. We have a lot of...
There's the mirror!
Oh my god, I was just gonna say, we have a lot of entrances that are mirror locked, yeah. Oh my god, that's so unfortunate for Dracarys, because...
Is that the one chest he left behind?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's awful.
And he did it just because he didn't have the bow. Well, he is heading back. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so both of our runners will be acquiring that mirror shortly.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah, he has so many keys now, so he doesn't have to skip, do the whole bottle glitch again. But that was probably the reason he skipped it. He had to do the bottle glitch in order to get to the back and saving that key. But I don't think he had 2 potions, so he had the same quit.
So the mirror grants us access to quite a bit more locations, as well as the fire sources in general for this seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much opened us up almost everything. And I could see under Karis right away there, he was not happy about that mirror location.
So, some of the most significant mirror locations, you've got the top of Hyrule Castle, which has 3 entrances, one of which I'm pretty much thinking has to be pigeonholed into actually being Hyrule Castle.
I would definitely be able to bet that too. And here's blindsiding Mimic Cave. Okay, getting 5 items right away from this mirror, paying off. There's a reason you want to have the mirror early in these kind of seeds.
Book
opens up 2 more locations. Big key for Skullwoods. Oh, okay.
1 more location.
Yeah, it's pretty much a fetch quest at this point. And a bottle. Okay, not the best, but we'll see what those tablets and the big chest in Skullwoods holds. It could still pay off.
We've also got Graveyard Ledge, we've got the Grove Ledge, we've got all sorts of, the 2 entrances in the back of Desert, as well as the main entrance of Desert.
And Checkerboard Cave as well.
Checkerboard Cave, plenty of mirror locations that are likely to be required. I imagine, however, Dracarys is making a beeline for the Fire Rod.
Looks like it, and he's gonna get the big key from Pod here, or for Eastern as well, while doing the dig game.
And he will need to get the. There is one dungeon outstanding that we haven't found, and that is Ice Palace. We do need to find where that is. I imagine it's at one of these locations.
Hey,
here's Hyrule Castle.
I was actually not mirror locked, so could have seen this earlier. Now we'll see if he decides to steal the key here or not. I would kind of vote for stealing the key, but we'll see what he decides to do.
When you steal a key, you steal the second key.
Yeah, so you get as many chests as possible before you have to go to the back. Kind of makes it a pain to go back to Zelda's chest if you get the small key later on, but it's most of the times better than having to do Aga for those items in the back of Escape.
Yeah, Escape is at Lumberjack, that is correct. Right, Compass of East, and Dracarys mirroring out after grabbing the small key, as we might have expected. Not going to check the other entrances of Hyrule Castle, instead heading for that Fire Rod.
I think that kind of makes sense. He could save quit later, head back there, and he could just go to the back, and if it's nothing, he could just do a reset actually, and then check Zelda's chest. Would be one way of doing it. It's a little bit annoying, but that's one way to guarantee to not miss anything in Escape.
Yeah, you can grab the Fire Rod and then head back. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, that makes sense too.
Because doing back to Escape that way is a little easier, especially entering from the Dark World.
Yeah.
Because those rats in the back are the worst in the Dark World.
Yeah.
Also, Megawatt has decided to go for Helmasaur today.
Yeah, doing all a pod without any fire source whatsoever. Gold Sword makes that second phase of Helmasaur almost a joke. Well, at least with this amount of health.
I imagine Megawatt does have the Ether Medallion. I imagine he cleared out the Dark Maze.
Yeah, he did. So he should have that.
I find Ether is somewhat useful in that Dark Turtle room when you don't have Fire Rod to see.
I used to try and go for Bombos instead.
Alright, we're gonna see the Grove Ledge, which is a storyteller. And he's telling us awful stories.
Did he? I missed what he said.
It's just a joke hint.
A comedian, I see.
Thing is, he keeps talking about this food that's supposedly easy and yummy, and I don't even know what that is. Alright, so Megawatt takes care of Blind's hut. Jakara's heading into the Swamp Palace entrance where we find nothing. Got the blacksmith in tow.
Yeah, we're almost where blacksmith lives now. He was at the North Shore in the Light World. And Recurse finds Meyer is gonna say no thank you, I can do that later. We have proper full Dark World access, so you can just easily head there whenever he wants to.
Oh, there's a small key in the library, it looks like, to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's our second small key to Ice Palace. We don't have the big key yet though, and we don't even know where Ice Palace is.
I mean, at this point, we gotta think mirror locked is all I can tell you.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Ten arrows in Graveyard Ledge. Locate. And almost got the blacksmith home. Gonna check this dark location first.
One short detour left before you just it's time.
So you mirror, turn in the blacksmith, then get back in the portal, jump down and grab your lamp, I would say.
Yeah, that would be a very convenient way of doing it. Hopefully he heads up to the pyramid during this check here, so he can check the Hyrule Castle entrances as well, because that would also give him his bow.
And as predicted, picking up that lamp. Meanwhile, Megawatt just picking up the fire rod. And I don't believe Dracaris has done the shopping mall checks either, so he's going to head over here. While Megawatt retraces some of the steps that Dracaris just took. Megawatt does not have the smith in tow at this point, so...
Yeah, it looks like he also did not check the hammer pegs, which was the Hyrule Castle one.
And it looks like Megawatt might have decided to turn around and pick up that blacksmith now. Nope, he's just heading back up in the Village of Outcasts. Maybe he's going to check the hammer pegs.
I hope he decides to go for the big chest in Turtrock after this as well. I'm really interested in seeing what's in there, because we have like so many small keys from Turtrock, and we have access to, well, only 2 more chests at the moment, but they're pretty fast and easy to get from that entrance.
Alright, so Megawatt now headed into Hyrule Castle basement. We'll see if he decides to steal the key or go to Zelda's chest.
Dracarys not using the portal, instead walking up here. I'm not sure which one would be faster, but Dracarys is a better runner than me at this game for sure, so I'm gonna trust his word. And
I think if
he
you're
hasn't checked
intending
this
to
as
check
well.
these entrances, yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize you hadn't checked this yet.
Now, if you're going straight to the pyramid, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, moment of truth here for Megawatt. He is not mirroring.
So going for Zelda's Cell. Taking the strong gamble here, because that's basically 3 items to 1.
Yeah. The higher the risk, the higher the rewards, right?
Something like that, yeah. And Dracarys now mirroring on top of Hyrule Castle. We get to see what's up here. The Aga Tower entrance is just a bunch of fairies.
Yeah, and we only had 50 rupees from Silas chest, so well, if there's something
Feels
in the
bad,
back of
man.
this cave, let's hope the small key is somewhere nice for Megawatt.
Nothing good in the right entrance of Hyrule Castle either. The left side, I mean, Ice Palace, right? Nope, it's the right side of Hyrule Castle. I did say there pretty much had to be one of these entrances pigeonholed as Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, it feels very appropriate that one of them was there. And we get to see the last entrance too, which is... okay, that's another mirror spot. And Dracarys still not going to the back yet, because it's been a while since he's sitting quiet, and he, as I mentioned before, he might want to do a reset if there's nothing in the back.
Right, so we find just 300 rupees in the Dark Cross room. So Dracarys now heading to the top of Desert area. And we've got Spiral Cave.
Yeah, and normally you would kind of want to wait with these one-way connectors until you're done with the area, but since he has the flute and the mirror, pretty much everything he needs to get back there fast and quickly, doesn't matter too much, and who knows, they might even spit him out here as well. Well, it goes up to Death Mountain. I'm not sure if we've seen... okay, I guess we did see those entrances.
Yeah, we've seen basically all the entrances over here at this point. Looks like Dracarys is going to go ahead and take care of Eastern while he's here.
Oh, it seems like a sensible choice. There's never really going to be a better time to do it. There's nothing you can get which would make the rest of this dungeon any faster.
Yeah, and you can actually see!
Yeah. What an amazing concept.
Alright, Megawatt back in the Dark World.
Yeah, it looks like he is...
oh, you know what? I bet Ice Palace is I bet Ice Palace is the top of Bumper Cave mirror spot.
We do have an entrance or a connector for that, so that would make sense. Oh, this was not Ganon's Tower. I'm misremembering stuff.
This is Thieves Town. I think Ganon's Tower was the Dark Witch.
Oh, yeah, right. You're totally right.
Well, yeah, with both the big key and small key of Thieves Town, I mean, that's 4 items that are in logic, so feels reasonable.
Green pendant, which is pretty much another item as well.
Yeah, though I don't know if Megawatt... yeah, Megawatt's been there. Purple chest leads to a red rupee. according to that hint on Thieves Town.
Never gonna say no to a purple chest hint. Well, never gonna say no to a purple chest hint before I check purple chest at least. So if we're looking in terms of items we need for Go mode at the moment, we would need Cane as the only item itself, and we would need 2 big keys, one for Desert, one for Hera. And I believe that would be it.
What, you don't want our runners to... You don't want our runners to have to hover the entire gap to get to Trinex?
I mean, if they can do it, then more power to them. That's
Alright, Piece of Heart in the big chest of Thieves Town. And we see Dracarys going for the other entrance, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should have 3 more entrances to check.
Oh, he's gonna turn in the... Oh no, he's checking Desert Palace main, yeah. Hey, it's one of my favorite locations to find early in the game.
Yeah.
That little bomb in it.
It's one of my least favorite entrances to find when you're low in health and in the Dark World.
Yeah, that seems like a good way to get bodied.
Yeah. Yo,
there's Ice Palace. Okay. Dracarys not even interested in the hint.
Yeah, that's... Of any hints give, that's an interesting one, because it's pretty free, but he might just have been in full-on entrance, what's it called? I don't remember, but he probably forgot about it. He could always check it after he's done.
Shock, I think, is what you're going for there.
Oh, Megawatt, be careful getting Birdo twice there. Luckily he has blue mail.
Those birds are the worst.
Yeah. Apparently pretty hard to hit with the signs as well. Gonna have to be careful around them. Ooh, Satchel leads to a red rupee, I think it's well, it's definitely a rupee at least, so that's really nothing.
Yep, and Megawatt might get debated into doing that before hitting up Ice Palace.
Yeah, Megawatt, I don't think Megawatt has been in Meyer area at all, so it seems likely he'll probably check the Satchel's closet before heading into Ice Palace. But we're gonna see the entrance of the Back of Skulls here.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that yet.
It's just a shop, so pretty much a bust.
Yeah. Basically, the only major outstanding item location, I think, is Hype Cave.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see what's on pedestal then. Small key to the woods. That seems very
it's logically required.
Yeah, it is.
We got a ped seed, y'all. Sort of.
I mean, at this point, Megawatt has collected 2 pendants already, anyways.
True enough.
Oh, and when While we were preoccupied of looking at that totally super not useful pet, kind of missed the big key for Hera in Ice Palace. So that's a key that you're not gonna want to skip.
Ten arrows, and Dracarys now going for the bomb jump here. Get us over to Ice Tea Room a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
course,
Mega would
lack
for
of-
another bomb jump and got nothing from that big chest of Swamp Palace.
And of course, we don't have the Ice Palace big key, so there's no way to know what's in that big chest. And I'm pretty sure that the Ice Palace big key can't be on Cold Stare anymore. I think there was a time in randomizer history where that was possible.
Wait, what was possible?
Where the Ice Palace big key could be on Cold Stare.
Oh, that must have been before my time then. So Dracarys is about to head into the Coaster fight. I went Gold Sword, so it's going to be a pretty nice fight. And Megawatt is going to head into Mothula soon here as well, also with the Gold Sword.
So, commence the beatdowns, as we say.
Pretty much. There you go. I hope you didn't blink for like 5 times and you would have missed this. Oh, there's the cane. Okay.
Whoa!
That's huge. Definitely gonna need that.
Yeah, that also explains why they were able to find 2 small keys for Ice Palace. Because, yeah, the cane is the only way you can get there without 2 small keys in the logic. And so, Mushroom over on Moth, as we are aware.
Could be good. Get ready for the big key of Ice Palace being in Hype Cave here. And Dracarys is going to be super sad if that's the case.
There is that Hype Cave we were talking about. Piece of heart,
No.
big key of Ice Palace.
Regret everything.
The bomb is real.
Yeah, that's not good. There's only one thing that Dracarys needs for Go Mode now, so he's not gonna go back into Ice Palace. There's no way.
Yeah, you go to Hera first, at the very least.
Yeah. I think like Ice Palace is probably one of the rare last locations he's gonna go to at this moment.
Oh, yeah.
We also have something that's pretty appealing right now would probably be Gannis Tower. We can climb Gannis Tower, which is required. And we can also check the right side, which is
right
another
side.
5 items. So that's
Yeah,
like
so I
9
think-
items in total.
I think the play here is beat Hera. Maybe, like, I don't know if there are any other crystal dungeons he can do. He could go beat Moth.
Yeah.
And Trinex, and then at that point, probably go to GT.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, like, I don't know. At some point, you kind of want to see him go to the back of, what's it called? Escape as well, because, like, otherwise, what's the point of stealing the key? Okay, Megawatt is checking Checkerboard Cave first here. So he's gonna get the big key. We get to hold our breath for a while. He's going into Ice Palace. Don't start yet, because and you're gonna have to hold your breath for quite a while.
Yeah, I had to stop myself for a second. Alright, so Dracarys flying away after the Hera fight. Flying over to 5.
Yeah. Well,
And changing his
change
mind.
his mind. I was about to say he's probably heading to Skullwoods then, because that's in the vanilla Sashula location. But nope, it changed his mind. Going somewhere else.
Alright, Megawatt finds Ice Palace. So I would have been
This makes sense.
I would have been tempted to go to Turtle Rock through the big chest entrance just because I can check those as well.
Yeah, I think that would kind of make a little bit more sense because
and then when you beat Try and Exit, puts you out at the front, so you can check those 3 if you want as well.
Yeah, exactly. He might just like be beating this and then be heading for like Ganistar or something. He just maybe wants to get some crystals before heading there. I'm not sure. Going for the 1 cycle or 0 cycle strat here, and really nicely done.
Hey, there we go. And 3 slashes to take down Trinex, and that'll do it. Alright, green rupee for Dracarys on Trinex and gets that crystal.
So as of this move,
second 5/6 crystal. Though I don't think we have any, I don't think we have any really relevant entrances left.
It might be like some one-off stuff still left to find. Caves with items, that is.
Could
but
be.
Yeah, nothing major. There's only 2 big keys left in the game for us to find. One being a minor one, which we don't need. One being the desert one that we definitely do need. So whenever we get to see that big key, it's gonna be after that 1 or 2 seconds is gonna feel like an eternity for the runners. And they're like,
in before desert key, big key is on left side mire.
Oh, that would be dirty. And the second one on the fire side is the mire big key.
That would be terrible.
Hey, red mail and a small key to Hera, which, oh my god, we already used there. Oh, Dracarys having the worst of luck right now.
That's gotta be a pain. And now Dracarys gonna go ahead and head to Skull Woods. So, yeah, this turned out to be a much better route because Turtle Rock's main entrance is literally right here. Next to it, so yeah.
Yeah, like getting to those other 2 items, it's not gonna take long for sure. Especially not with the fluid and mids, but it's just a matter of getting there because you have so many other stuff to do, so you might be just baited into doing other things instead. Those other things could totally be the right thing to do though. Like it's almost impossible to say, but I definitely like the idea of Dracarys going for stuff he needs to do. Like he knows he has to beat these bosses, so let's just like focus that at the beginning, and if any of those has his go mode item, then that's awesome. He doesn't have to check anything else. One more hit should do it, maybe.
Just gotta make sure not to knock him into the spike.
There we go.
And that mushroom acquired for Dracarys as well. And that is 6 out of 7 crystals for Dracarys. Just gotta find that Desert Palace big key. And here's the moment of truth. The Ice Palace big chest is a small key to Agate Tower.
Well, that could technically be required, but Dracarys stole the keys, so he could get bailed out from that. But in order to get bailed out from that, he would actually have to go to the Backless Cave.
Alright, wow. Dracarys now into the Dark World. I believe this is a check onto the big chest of Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the roller room.
There it is!
Big key.
Meyer!
Oh, no!
Oh! Oh!
That's the worst. That's the worst thing in this game. When you're one big key away from go mode, and you're gonna have to wait for that stupid text box.
The debate is real.
Well, who knows? He might go for Meyer. You called the big key there, but he's probably heading to Gannis Tower instead, I would imagine.
I imagine.
Well, first
so.
It looks like he's gonna head into Skullwoods and get that last item.
Yeah.
So with Megawatt taking down Ice Palace, he's now also only one big key away from go mode.
Alright, nice solid bomb jump setup for Dracaris. And just a big 20 in the big chest of Skull Woods, taking his rupee count to a nice solid 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
And Megawatt gonna go ahead and finish out Tower of Hera.
Makes sense. Fortunately, he's not gonna get that small key as well right away, but like clearing out the top of Hera without the small key and then finding it later is not too bad, honestly, because it's not like you're gonna have to climb and repeat that thing again. You're just gonna have to go to a different part of the dungeon.
And Dracaris checking Skullwoods, finding out the Skullwoods small key is on pedestal. And we'll see where he heads now. Fluting to 4. This may be the quickest way to get to GT.
Yeah, I suppose it is. But he's heading to Meyer. Okay, I don't know if I can, if I agree with this. Going to Meyer before going to Gannis Tower. Since Gannis Tower is required, well, this might not. But
who even knows at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I feel like I'd be in GT at this point, but also, I mean, you can see my qualifier scores. They're not great. So,
Safe
I probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's random, right? It's impossible to tell. Let's see what Megawatt decides to do. I would not be surprised to see him go for Gannis Tower, because he's tried to do that even before he had fire, and it looks like he's heading in that general direction.
Oh no! Are you kidding me?
That's so stupid. Oh my god, no.
I'm sorry.
Well, it looks like Dracaris is in go mode then. Yeah, the Galaxy Brain.
That was my call. It's really sad. It was me. I'm the witch. Though, you know, Walther also was a witch with the Ice Palace big key, so. I wish I had the spoiler log and make the
I wish I could
make
be
keeping track of things easier.
I wish I could be a witch when I'm actually playing the seeds. It's like calling all the items wherever I go.
Megawatt using boomerang strats to take care of the tiles in tile room here. It's actually a pretty good strat because if you swing the sword, it's going to cause those those shooters to fire.
Yeah, and by killing the tile there with the boomerang, the chest spawns used a tiny bit earlier.
Because the chest doesn't spawn until everything that can possibly be killed is off the screen.
Yep.
So it's timed so that the clutch or the wallmaster comes down right as the other one would disappear. And so if you kill the tile first before the wallmaster comes in, then you get the faster spawn.
Dracarys is doing 1, 2, and 3 silver arrows to the head of Lamolas, which means he's about to pick up his 7th crystal, and now is gonna be heading to Ganon's tower. Not look for the big key because we found that in the mushroom spot, but he is gonna climb it so we can go to the pyramid and take care of that big old pig in there.
Megawatt also going to be climbing GT, but he's going to actually be checking things along the way. Because, again, he doesn't have the big key of Desert Palace, which is in a dumb spot.
I see a 7 in the chat, which could actually be true, because it's probably somewhere around there when they found the big key. But we don't have a big key guessing game, unfortunately, because it's Keysanity, and we already have the big key.
I believe that was sitting at the mushroom location. Way back when. Could have very well been the 7th item. You're right.
Yeah. It's probably somewhere around there.
Alright, so Megawatt climbing GT. Dracarys climbing GT. Like you see.
Megawatt is not necessarily in a too bad of a position if he just goes for Tartarok after this. He might just be heading to Meyer afterwards.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we can say with some degree of certainty that Dracarys is in a commanding lead here.
Yeah, in terms of the restreamers, for sure. He's in a prime position. And we don't have any finishers in this qualifier yet, so he could be in a good position to even win the entire qualifier race as well.
And they do have a bot set up so that those times will show up in the chat as well. So
it's a pretty large one today. We have over 20 runners for sure. I think we're somewhere around 25 maybe in total. So while our runners is climbing Ganon's tower here, I want to give some shout outs to our trackers, Cubs Rule and Mama Sheepy, for doing the tracking today. They've been doing an excellent job, and shout outs to our restreamer as well, Norinado, for putting all of this together. Without those people, we could not have a restream going.
Absolutely. Alright, so let's see what Megawatt finds. Finds the Hyrule Castle small key.
Oh my god. It's kind of hilarious.
Another small key, this one to Meyer. That puts the big key of Desert in logic. Logically, you had to come up here first.
Megawatt, you know you want to do it.
Oh, is he going for the hover? Is he doing it? Nah.
No, they're just teasing us. They've been teasing us with all of these chests and locations the entire game. Yeah, the one thing that kind of speaks against Megawatt going back to Myra is that they already did a large portion of Myra earlier, but at the same time, Megawatt does not really have too much else to do after Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I guess that makes the play for Dracarys to go into Meyer a little earlier a little better, because he actually, pieced out on the whole dungeon earlier.
Yeah.
So he had eight whole items in there.
Yeah.
And it was on the way to GT, I guess.
There's Agatu down for Megawan.
Very nice triple on that last one.
Dracarys is on Agatu as well. Might look like Megawatt is in the lead here, but still has 2 more dungeons to complete, while Dracarys only needs to take care of Ganon after this.
And with these silvers and gold sword, and I think we found the red mail at some point.
Yeah, red mail was in the Ganon's tower, the fire torch room.
So this is going to be a largely academic exercise. And the sub 2 is in fact real still.
Yeah, which is like an amazing time to have in Crossworld Keysanity for sure.
Sub 2 is kind of like my own personal Everest. I want to really hit that at some point.
Yeah, same.
It's going to be a long time. I imagine it'll happen eventually. I'll just get real lucky once.
Okay, this is a little bit unfortunate for Megawatt, because he's going in from Laser Bridge and going to backtrack in order to get items, but that means he's gonna miss the big chest, which has the Minor Big Key. Doesn't really need the Minor Big Key, but the Minor Big Key would certainly hint him a bit more into going into Minor.
Alright, Dracarys has made it to Phase 3 and now Phase 4 of the Ganon fight. Accidental silverless hits.
Yeah. Needs one more. Lights the torches for it last time. And boom, Ganon is down. Looks like we had a first place finisher just right before Dracarys here. Amazing
effort. The snipe is real.
Yeah. Finishing him first with a time of 1 hour 57 minutes and 20 seconds, and Dracarys finishing 10 seconds later with a time of 1 hour 57 minutes and 30 seconds. To get your GGs out for Dracarys, getting 2 sub 2 so far in this seed overall from both our top runners.
We are going to have to ask about that Misery Mire play.
Yeah, and we're going to have to ask about that stealing the key and never going to the back of Hyrule Castle too. So in the meanwhile, Megawatt just cleared out Turtle Rock. He's going to get those chests here in the front, and then afterwards we'll see where they decide to go.
Gonna need to find his way into Misery Mire. That is the one little bit of routing that's evading him at the moment. He did go ahead and finish GT, so that's not tempting at the moment.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little bit scared of, or actually not, he got the Hyrule Castle small key, so if he wants to go to the back of escape, it won't take him too long, actually.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go through. He doesn't have to go through the, the back of.
Yeah, the Agate Tower.
Agate Tower, that thing. The thing that is annoying to do.
Yeah. That was my first initial thought, but then I was like, wait a minute, something happened, right? Okay, we're gonna turn in the mushroom. I don't remember where the potion shop was. I want to say it was in Light World, but I could be totally wrong about that. Actually, it's in the Dark World, just in that fortune teller hut in the just above Village of Outcasts, which it looks like he's heading towards.
All right, so we'll get to see a few extra checks here that we hadn't seen yet. Here's that big chest.
That's good. That's good news.
And it sounds like we have been joined by the winner of our on-stream race and the just nearly almost winner of the actual race. Drakars, how you doing?
Yo, GG. That was a pretty good seed. I like that one.
I mean, we could tell it treated you pretty well. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse. I found the Desert Palace big key super early when I had like 50 locations still open to me. I just got really lucky that I found it in Mire when I went there. But apart from that, I think this run went just super smooth.
Yeah. So what went through your mind as you were going through Mire there? Like you had GT open, you had several other places that hadn't been checked, and you ended up choosing to go to Mire first. Where did that come from?
Mostly because I just got the Mire big key and I hadn't touched Mire at that point at all, and there were still 8 items in there. I know GT had 9 still left, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do Mire and then run to GT because I have to do GT anyway. So let's just do Mire on the way first.
Yeah, because Mire was kind of on the way anyway at that point. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of a gamble considering I just should have just done GT because I had to do that anyway, but you gotta gamble a bit here and there.
Unfortunately, Megawatt, the other guy on Restream, has actually already cleared out what he could of Mire without any fire sources, and so that it's a little less likely for him to go back there, sadly. Let's see. So the other thing we wanted to ask about was, so you stole a key from Hyrule Castle, and you never used it.
I was thinking about using it, but then I always had just better options than stealing the key and going to the back. That I wanted to do something else first before I commit to that play. Probably just wait for an Agate Tower key, actually, so it puts the bag into logic.
Yeah. Was your plan ever to do a reset if there was nothing in the bag?
Probably, yeah. If I commit to that, I will probably check it with a save and quit first, so I can just reset the key if it's nothing.
Yeah, we were kind of thinking it was something along those lines, because you never really had a good place to save and quit, because you just kept finding new stuff all the time.
Yeah, and with Mirror and Flute, it's rare that you actually have to save and quit.
How about that Ice Palace play followed up by Hype Cave?
That Ice Palace big key scared me for a second there.
It was some kind of small key in that chest. What was it again?
Yeah, it was the last Agate Tower small key.
Oh yeah, the last
Hyrule Castle's
apparently.
Guess that would have put that in logic.
Yeah, the Hyrule Castle small key ended up being in the mini Helmsor room in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, and that Turtle Rock small key that we just saw there in the back of Escape from Megawatt, that actually put Desert in logic because of the small key and where it was. Anyway.
So how many qualifiers have you done so far, Dracarys?
This was actually my first one. I
one?
just had no motivation to play last week, so I just took the week off, basically, off rando, and I'm probably just gonna play the next few qualifiers so I can get enough qualifier races before the tourney actually starts.
Yeah, I mean it's important and good to recharge your batteries sometimes.
Must be nice to
to
just
be,
be that
turning up
good
pretty
and not
well.
have to practice. Just saying.
Oh, I practiced a lot today. This was my 5th entrance seed of the day. I basically played entrance all day long since waking up.
Okay. How do you not get them mixed up in your head?
I was kind of afraid when I started climbing GT. Was Ganon really in the pyramids? I'm not mixing stuff up here right now. I was kind of worried that when I drop into the Ganon hole that I don't go into the Ganon fight.
So we have some we have some good news at the moment. Megawatt is in Maya right now and is gonna get the big key for Desert, and has already cleared everything else. So you just need to beat Desert and then kill Ganon. So probably gonna get a pretty good time here as well.
Yeah, both of the commentators here made an offhanded prediction that ended up being awful. Walther said, in before Ice Palace, Big Key, and Hype Cave, and it turned out being there. And then I said in before Desert Palace, Big Key on the left side of Meyer. So yeah, that was a thing.
Commentary curse.
Yeah, except in your case, it wasn't really a curse.
True, it didn't really matter from my key there.
All right, so Megawatt is going to go finish Desert now. So they're gonna be done pretty soon. So, is there anything else? Any other comments you wanted to make about this run or the seed or whatever you've been doing?
Well, not really. It just went really, really, really well. We got early Pearl, we got early boots, early everything, basically. The only thing that was kind of hard to find was the first glove. That one was... I'm not even sure how I put that one into logic. It just completely sequence broke that one, but who cares?
Yeah, where was the first glove again?
The one in Super Bunny Cave, right?
Yeah, I think it was in the Hammer Pack House in Village of Outcasts. Was it there? Or was it last seed?
No, that was...
Hammer Pegs was
Hammer
Hyrule Castle.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I don't remember where it was then.
Because you can't even do Hammer Peg's house without the...
No, the Hammer Pack house, not the Hammer Packs. Like the house with the Hammer Packs.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see. No, I think it was in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, there was one Super Bunny Cave, and then the other one was in Swamp, so...
Yeah, Swamp could very well have been...
That could have been the first in Logic Glove, for all I know.
You got everything for Swamp super early.
Yeah, Thief's Son basically just had the Swamp Palace care package with both the flippers and the small key.
Yeah, and then you guys got like the dam early as well, the hammer and hookshot. For you it took a little bit longer to get hookshot, but Megawatt took that connector right away, even before getting the Moon Pearl, and just got like hookshot.
Yeah, Megawatt took a little bit more of a depth first approach to this seed, decided to take those connectors right off the bat instead of checking all the entrances in Kakariko like you did.
Yeah, unfortunately it took them quite a while to get to the dam though, and get the flute and the the important entrance to even getting to Swamp Palace.
Got our third place finish from Wolf 38 with a 2:08.13, and Megawatt should be finishing this seed pretty soon as well.
Yeah, still on a pretty good pace to be able to be in the top 25% of the runners here. Should be 5 runners today, who is the top 25%, I think.
Yeah, so even though AA beat you by 10 seconds, I don't think you could be disappointed in that time. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's one of my best times so far, so I absolutely can't.
Yeah, sub 2 in entrance overall is like that's what you dream of, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I could have won if I just didn't screw up both the Aga 2 and the Ganon fight, because that easily cost me 10 seconds.
Shoutouts to accidental silverless hits.
Yeah, speaking of Ganon fights, Megawatt is already on phase 3 on Ganon right now. Spawning a couple of fire bats though, but doesn't really need to worry about in terms of health. He just needs to make sure it doesn't fall into one of the pits. Seems to have the situation under control now. Ooh, this should be a nice setup for a double at the very least. Just needs one more hit, and that's
Ooh.
it.
A nice dodge there, gets it in time,
Yeah.
and there we go. 1,768 rupees. I know that's a perfect square of something. No, it's 12 cubed. It's 12 cubed.
I'm just gonna trust you on that one.
Sorry, huge nerd. What's up?
I'm a huge nerd too, but I'm just a nerd, which
But
also
Dracaris' rupee count is pretty sweet too. The 1, 2, 3, 4 sitting there.
Yeah. So Megawatt finished 4th in total, and with a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 31 seconds. So GG's to Megawatt, and we'll see if he wants to get in on an interview as well.
All right. So, excellent race by both of our runners here in Cross Keys ridiculousness. Both runners sub 215, really close to the sub 210 for Megawatt, sub 2 for Dracaris, and top 4 for both of these runners. Feels pretty good. And Megawatt is in the waiting room, ready to come on in, and we are now joined by Megawatt. Congratulations on the finish. 4th place seems pretty good, and that was a really solid time too.
Thanks. GG's, Drac.
GG.
4th place is definitely a lot better than I was expecting, though, I'll be honest. Like, it felt like I was not executing super well that entire time. Like, my routing was okay for the most part, but I felt like there were just a lot of small execution flubs all the way throughout.
It happens with.
I guess it is entrance, and routing probably makes up for the majority of that.
Yeah, entrance is a routing nightmare. If you can get it to work, you're
Definitely.
doing
That entire
God's.
that entire mid game was just me being completely, like, almost just half there in my head. Because, like, entrance is just really demanding to keep up with, like, what you're gonna do next, what's your plan after each step, and it's just like taking more than half of my brain power to even keep up with that. So I can't even focus on execution. So I just end up making tiny little flubs everywhere, and that's what my entire mid game ended up being. Because I just had no idea what to do next at almost any given moment.
I mean, you managed to get there to get to the end in a very solid time. This is certainly better than any seed I've ever pulled off, and did you some real good there. Unfortunately, the Desert Palace Big Key kind of evaded you there toward the end.
Yeah, that really bit me, the decision to dive Mire without a fire source. That's one of the bigger regrets I have about this. But I also kind of like on my way in, because I kept forgetting I didn't have a fire source, and it happened again when I walked back to GT the second time. In case you were wondering what that was.
Yeah, we noticed.
I kept forgetting that I didn't have a fire source, and they were both locked by the mirror in separate locations. So I kind of walked into Mire thinking like, oh, I can just go in, get 6 checks, come back later with a big key, no big deal. Then I realized, oh, I can only get 4 checks because I don't have anything to get the 2 leftmost chests with. So that was unfortunate. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble there.
That reminds me of Dracarys' situation in Palace of Darkness, how he basically cleared out the entire dungeon except for the big key chest. And so the mirror was just like, really? Really?
Yeah, but I gotta say, I went back for the mirror like 10 minutes after I went to pod for the first time, just because that seed kept on throwing pod keys at me. I was so suspicious of that chest when I got my 6th pod key. I just said, okay, let's go back.
Yeah, that seems entirely legit.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely delayed my pod revisit for much longer than I should have, so I feel like, even though I went there super early and got my hook shot in like the first 10 minutes, I should have gone back more quickly than I did. But the plus side of going back as late as I did was I had the bow, so I could just full clear.
So I'd like to take a little discussion of the early routing here. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but so Megawatt, when you found that connector in Kakariko Village, you just immediately went for it, ended up on Death Mountain, found pod, got the hook shot, and that was pretty cool. Dracarys, on the other hand, decided to hold off on the connector and check the other entrances, applying a more breadth first rather than depth first approach. Do you usually just dive connectors like that, or is that something you just decided to do?
That was intended to be part of a more breadth based strategy. Just that typically whenever I find those like small connectors that have only 2 entrances, and especially that early in the game when there's so many other possibilities still open of where that other entrance could lead, that it's a really, really pretty solid chance that it's not going to dump you somewhere that you can't come back from. So my idea with it was just to check to see where it took me and then walk back. And
unfortunately, it did dump you somewhere you couldn't come back from because it was that rock was on top of it.
Kind of ended up being pretty nice because it forced me to work my way into pod and get my really early hook shot, which I feel like probably a lot of people for the most part did not get, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I imagine so. But yeah. Okay, so it wasn't an intentional depth first thing. It was just, I'm going to check this, see what it is, and then got a little bit blocked out. You see Pika Pals finishing in 2:17:03. That was the person who was going to be on Restream until they were experiencing some network issues. So good for them. I believe that rounds out the top 25% that will be used for the time calculation. So everybody who's finished so far will get a very good score, and congratulations to both of you once again on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so anything else you guys would like to say about this before we wrap it up?
I got nothing particular on my mind. How about you, Drac?
Yeah, same. I basically said everything I could say about the seed already.
All right. Well, once again, I want to thank our restreamed runners, Dracarys and Megawatt, for putting on an excellent show. I would like to thank our trackers. We had Cubs Rule and Sheepy handling the items on the screen. I would like to thank our restream team, including Norinato and all the people at Zelda Speedruns for putting on the show, and of course my co-commentator Walter the Fourth. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you as well, Bob. And I just quickly want to shout out everyone who's doing the qualifiers so far. GG's to everyone who's in in this tournament doing this. We're gonna have qualifiers the entire next week as well. So if anyone is still interested in joining, there's definitely still time for it. So we do have the schedule here on Zelda Speedrun. So if you're interested in that, there's definitely still time to join if you want to. But yeah.
Yep. And the only thing required is that you manage to finish 2 of the qualifiers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there's no.
You can get higher seeding with more, but like if you finish 2 qualifiers and you place extremely well, you're going to get high seeds.
Yeah. So completing 2 races is the bare minimum in order to qualify.
Yeah, and let's be fair, anybody who can actually complete these seeds, like in general, is doing pretty well. Because Crossworld Entrance Keysanity is a logical mess that will mess with your head.
Yeah, that's a winner in my book. So yeah, it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, I'm ready to get completely destroyed left and right. It's going to be great, and I'm going to love it. All right, so with that, I think it's about time to wrap things up. Thank you very much. And so with that, I'll just say that I have been Dr. Bob Tassu.
I've been Walter IV.
And we'll see you later, everybody.